Tales of the Unexpected by Walthari, the defamed artist. Once upon a time there was a young man called Walthari. He was the poor son of a bookmaker, and his mother was the worst witch about. She used to tell Walthari's brother that he was turning green, and soon he would turn into a toad. My poor brother cried and got very scared when she pointed her finger. Once upon a time in the young man's life, the witch hated the bookmaker because he had better odds than her. So she made a doll and stuck a pin in it and put it in the fire, and smiled and cackled to herself as the flames grew steadily higher. The witch was angry, so angry it's true, that she chopped every photo into two. The witch on the left, the bookmaker in the fire. And that is why my memories are dire. Once upon a time there was a young man who was very scared of the witch, because at times she could be an absolutely psychotic bitch. There was a time when she got very drunk and shagged her son's friend called Griff, and danced around the pole outside with a light with a big fat spliff. There was a time in the young man's life when all he wanted was to escape. But whenever he went away, his mother, the witch, would say, "Don't leave me, son, a fragile thing. You will never cope on your own. And if you go anywhere, remember to talk to your mother, the witch, on the telephone." There was a time in the young man's life she cast a spell on the son and made him hate his father true for the things he hadn't done. And he grew hateful because of the witch, and hated his son for her. And when the son said he was a drag queen, well, a straighter son he'd prefer. There was a time in the young man's life when he knelt in front of his brother and begged the tall thing he looked up to protect him from his mother. He didn't use the words mother or witch. He used another name. But the brother did not protect the son from his violent bane. There was a time in the young man's life, at the age of 5, his brother met a woman, or a succubus is more correct in retrospect. There was a time in the young man's life that thing shouted at him true. I was in the kitchen cooking a meal, and you told me to fuck off, it's true. There was a time in the young man's life he went out into the garden and found some maybugs flying about. He got a maybug and took it into the kitchen and put it in front of this thing, and she screamed and screamed the house down. because she knew what delusional thoughts could bring. She travelled to Scotland, right up north, and took too many pills, and it made her mind very bad and filled her full of ills. There was a time in the young man's life when he turned away from this thing because he realized she did not have one but two broken wings. There was a time in the young man's life when all hate was let loose, and all they wanted was for the sun to tie a tight noose. But the son had been so badly hurt all his life, it's true, that he smiled at the thing and said, "You are most untrue." There was a time in the son's life he learned a lesson in life, that it is the succubus, it's true, that always brings the strife. I hope you enjoy that, everybody. A little riddle